No other film was repeatedly praised on the street at Cannes in 2016 as Na Hong-jin's Gok-sung, aka The Wailing.
이렇게 소문이 바다한 말이요? 무슨 이유가 있는 거요? 이유가...
Fitting neatly into the festival's cannibal phenomenon, there were 5 cannibalism-related pictures at the festival. The Wailing borrows ever so gently from The Exorcist to weave an intricate tale of horror that is part who or what done it. The film's Korean title, Gok-sung, refers to the filmmaker's grandmother's hometown, a place where northern persecuted Catholics fled to before being martyred. In The Wailing, a local reliably unreliably shaman stands in for the Catholic priests of William Friedkin's Exorcist. Spewing bloody vomit? Check. Korean actor Kwak Do-won goes from comedic to terrifying as Jung-gu, a sometimes bumbling police chief on the trail of bloody communal murders committed under the auspices of supernatural powers acting out through humans in bizarre deadly attacks. One man stabs his wife and children to death without provocation. Blood covers the walls. More such unexplained killings go on.
몸은 그냥 미끼를 던져본 것이고 자네 딸내미는 그것을 확 물어본 것이요.
In each gory episode, the killer takes on a zombie-like appearance with demon-red eyes and dark, boiling skin. Grody. The film leverages racial discomfort between Japanese and Korean cultures with a demonically possessed Japanese man who has a taste for human and wild animal meat. This guy is about as far from normal as you could possibly get. Whether or not he is the devil incarnate is up for grabs. I'm sure some of the film's political commentary regarding race relations between Japan and Korea will go over the heads of most Western audiences, myself included. Nonetheless, the thematic subtext is available for audiences interested in looking beneath the story's surface for thematic substance. An evil spirit takes over Jung-gu's young daughter. The disturbing invasion of his little girl sends our personally invested cop on a desperate journey to conquer the evil powers attacking him, his family, and his town. Beautifully photographed and full of brutal imagery, The Wailing strikes a sophisticated balance that encompasses action, character, plot, and thematic elements with impact and style. While far from a perfect film, this unconventional exploration in horror sends cinematic chills right through you. Its open ending seems to allow for the possibility of a sequel. Yes, please. I give this good Korean horror film a B. My sleeper pick is Tickled, and my guilty pleasure pick is Nicholas Winding Refn's The Neon Demon. My must-have DVDs are The Nasty from MVD Visual, Wim Wenders' The Road Trilogy from the Criterion Collection, and The Martian Extended Edition from 20th Century Fox. Iranian writer-director Abbas Kiarostami's Taste of Cherry is a divisive film. It won the Palme d'Or in Cannes in 1997, despite being savaged by critics such as Roger Ebert, whose staggering miscomprehension of the film exposed his knee-jerk tendency towards small-mindedness. Likewise, critics who overpraised Taste of Cherry as a masterpiece did a disservice to a movie whose personalized quest for Iran's soul is scaled to fit within the country's governmentally decreed rules for films made within its borders. Kiarostami executes a filmic social study that digs deep into the public and private psyche of Iran's male populace via the age-old query that Shakespeare elegantly distilled into to be or not to be, that is the question. Hamayan Orshadi gives a haunting performance as Mr. Badi, a wealthy middle-aged man at the end of his rope. He drives around the outskirts of Tehran in search of a man who will agree to partake in his suicidal experiment. Mr. Badi offers 200,000 tomans, 6 months' worth of average wages, to the man who will come to a grave he has dug along a mountain range roadside on the very next morning to see if he is dead or alive. If, after calling Mr. Badi's name twice, he doesn't respond, the entrusted individual is to cover Mr. Badi's body in 20 shovels of dirt. The unsavory proposition becomes a repeated mantra that the filmmaker uses as a provocation to get at an ethical identity. It is a polemic game rigged to raise important questions about the nature of existence. Mr. Badi drives around in a Range Rover, inside which most of the movie is filmed. We drink in Iran's parched alien landscape through the car's expansive windshields as invisible passengers searching for meaning or at least some sense of familiarity. Visual beauty is strictly absent from Kiarostami's framing. The car's restricted, boxy atmosphere creates an intimate, if claustrophobic, place for our distressed protagonist to question his survival against the mirror of divergent men who each articulate their personal moral boundaries in vastly different ways. Badi's first passenger is a young Kurdish fighter with whom he attempts to bond over their shared experience as soldiers. Badi affectionately remembers his days spent in disciplined training with other soldiers. Counting aloud together provides common ground. Homosexual overtones pervade Badi's conversation. Next is an Afghan seminarian student whose Muslim beliefs prevent him from taking part in Badi's ominous request. He says God entrusts man's body to him. Man must not torment that body. Badi replies that his profound unhappiness will harm other people. Finally, Mr. Badi comes across an Azari taxidermy professor who solemnly agrees to comply with his wishes. The narrative twist that Kiarostami uses to invert the film's ending is a deconstructionist embellishment worthy of Jean-Luc Godard. The audience is brought full circle in a cinematic reality that invites us to question our own place in a world dependent on others. Thanks for watching, and remember to turn your cell phones off when you're walking, driving, or watching a movie.